Hello, this is Susan, and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. First, under Events and Festivals, Fall in Love with February, a Buffalo guide to music, culture, and Valentine's fun. Love is in the air in Buffalo, and there is a way for everyone to celebrate Valentine's Day this February. This guide features a soulful evening at the BPO, a Valentine's dinner at the Statler, and an inclusive evening at Burlesque at Electric City. And if love isn't your thing, why not see the hilarious dark comedy set in a cemetery at ICTC? February is also a time to honor and reflect on the contributions of Black leaders, artists, and trailblazers who have shaped our history and culture. As part of UB's 50th annual Martin Luther King Jr. commemoration, Grammy-winning beatboxer, classic fusion artist, and Pentatonix member Kevin Olascola will deliver the keynote address as part of the UB Distinguished Speaker Series. This event is not to be missed. There is something for everyone to love this month in Buffalo. Some of the events coming up would be at the Legacy House, 620 Winslow Avenue. This is February 7th. Tickets are $22.50 to $32.50. No Label on Inspiration is an intimate, first-of-its-kind cultural event blending live music performances, visual art, and fashion design into one immersive experience. VIP tickets include reserved, guaranteed seating with a complimentary drink, free raffle entry, and full access to the performance showcase experience, vendor area, and photo op installations. Also, February 10th, for the UB Distinguished Speaker Series, featuring Kevin Olasola. Again, February 10th, tickets are $18 to $57. And as part of UB's annual Martin Luther King commemoration event, he is the Grammy-winning beatboxer, classical fusion artist, and member of Pentatonix, and he will share insights of his boundary-breaking career in music and performance and his pioneering work in creativity and collaboration. His talk will explore his artistic journey from viral celloboxing videos to global stages and keynote speeches, weaving stories of innovation, teamwork, and creative expression. And also, February 10th, at the Bayville, Buffalo, Asbury Hall at 341 Delaware Avenue. February 10th, tickets are $15. Known for his soulful voice and heartfelt songwriting, Guthrie, this is Noah Guthrie, blends country, Americana, and rock, first gaining attention through viral YouTube covers that showcased his powerful vocals. His career has since expanded to national TV appearances, including America's Got Talent, Dancing with the Stars, and Glee, and touring highlights like opening 12 shows for Willie Nelson, cementing his place in the Americana music theme. Ruben Studdard, my tribute to Luther Vandross. The Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra at Kleinhans Music Hall, and this is February 13th, 10:30 a.m., and February 14th at 7:30 p.m. The tickets are $17.50 through $123. And from his roots in gospel to chart-topping success as the winner of American Idol season number 2, Ruben Studdard has always drawn inspiration from his hero Luther Vandross. This Valentine's Day weekend, he brings the velvet tones of classics like Here and Now, Always and Forever, and Dance with My Father to life for a nostalgic journey through the 80s and 90s. Also, post-concert Saturday will be the annual Sweetheart Dance. And also, there is the all-new Wizard of Oz on Ice. This is at the Riviera Theater, 67 Webster Street, North Tonawanda, February 14th, 3 p.m. Tickets are $22. Lions and Tigers and Ice, oh my! Perfect for audiences of all ages, this enchanting production brings a fresh perspective to the beloved story, complete with original music that adds a delightful twist to the classic tale. And also, February 14th, an elevated Valentine's Day wine dinner. This is at the Statler at 107 Delaware Ave. Tickets are $140 per person. Celebrate Valentine's Day with a 5-course dinner and carefully selected wines curated by Chef Adrian Baluski. This thoughtful, crafted experience is designed to delight from the first course to the final sip. And also, on February 14th, we have Burlesque, Fortunes of Love. It's an all-male burlesque review including local drag and entertainers. It's at Electric City, 433 Pearl Street. Tickets are $39, and the show is at 7 p.m. This 18-plus Valentine's Day event, Burlesque, its Fortunes of Love, is a high-energy, body-positive dance and burlesque review guided by mystical host Mr. Tarot Mann, exploring romance, desire, and the unpredictable journey of finding your Mr. Right. Featuring jaw-dropping male entertainers, local drag and burlesque acts, acrobatics, and a full bar with themed cocktails, this show promises humor, heat, and heart for all, regardless of gender or orientation. Next, under community, resistance is a living practice. Know your rights. Training marks the lead up to a Black History Month ICE Resistance Toolkit. This week, Mayor Sean M. Ryan issued his first executive order, formally prohibiting the use of City of Buffalo personnel. Or resources for federal civil immigration enforcement. And also this week, Color Girls Bike 2 announced that they have co-authored an activist toolkit, How Suppression of the Black Radical Tradition Gave Rise to the Era of ICE Terror, launching February 2026 for Black History Month, in collaboration with several Buffalo-based Black-led organizations, including Liberation for One, Liberation for All, known as LOLA, and Dismantling Oppressive Patterns for Empowerment, DOPE Collective. A Know Your Rights training will be held, or it was held, on January 30th, and it focused on Black experience in the United States and the impacts of ICE and state violence. In addition to the training, the toolkit also officially launched Black History Month as part of a commitment to honoring the Black radical tradition not only as history, but as a living political practice necessary for survival, resistance, and liberation today. And under real estate, on the east side, it's a done deal. Med Campus parking lot is sold. A prime development site on the edges of the medical campus and Fruit Belt traded hands yesterday, but don't expect any shovels in the ground anytime soon. Sinatra and Company Real Estate's 933 Michigan Group LLC sold a parking lot at 903 Michigan Street and a vacant lot at 203 Maple Street to Skydeck Corporation for $750,000. Skydeck, a real estate firm that mostly operates surface parking lots downtown, was founded by the late Mark Croce. Sinatra purchased 933 Michigan Avenue in 2013 and the Maple Street property in 2017 for a combined $750,000. Both sites are located on the south side of Carlton Street. And under development, a big reveal. Neighborhood Health Center on Forest. Neighborhood Health Center is proposing a new building east of its current Niagara Street Riverway facility. The 5-story building would be constructed at the southwest corner of Forest and West Avenues on the site of Luigi's Bakery. Carmina Wood Designs' plan for the building includes 39,720 square feet of space to accommodate expanded healthcare services. Exterior materials would consist of precast concrete block, fiber cement panels, and aluminum accents, and the project will add 12 parking spaces to the existing parking lot that will connect the new and existing building. The Preservation Board recommended denial of the Luigi's building in October, and according to Carmina Wood Morris, the structure has been long vacant and is in a severely compromised condition that poses ongoing safety concerns to both the public and adjacent properties. The New York State Historic Preservation Office determined the building would be not eligible for historic designation. And you are listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. And more real estate news on the east side. It's a done deal. Buffalo Color Park sold. The Buffalo Color Park, formerly the Medaille College Sports Complex, has been sold. PVS Chemical Solutions purchased the property from South Buffalo Development, LLC, for $13.5 million. The sports complex and chemical facility were misfit neighbors as park users frequently complained about plant odors. The properties purchased encompass 5 Babcock, 427 Elk, 85 Lee, and 18 Maurice. Buffalo Pro Soccer has been eyeing the site for a 7,600-seat stadium, but dropped the plan last year and is now looking to construct a stadium in the Cobblestone District or at another city location. The Elk Street site drew opposition from PVS Chemical Solutions, located at 55 Lee Street, which strongly questioned the compatibility of a stadium next to its sulfuric acid production. And also in real estate, on the market, Jamel Home on Nottingham Terrace. The Douglas Development Retreat continues. Multiple listing services are showing 135 Nottingham Terrace as being listed for sale with a $2.5 million asking price. The property is owned by Norman Jamel, Douglas Jamel's son. Today, the listing is updated and as pending. The stately mansion has 7,694 square feet of living space with 5 bedrooms and 8 baths. And from the Karen Baker Levin of Howard Hanna, Western New York listing, it says, majestic mansion on one of the city's most sought-after streets, filled with old-world charm and the finest fixtures and finishes available today. This is the perfect place for entertaining and hosting family gatherings. Fabulous floor plan, elegant foyer, and spectacular staircase. Living room, formal dining room, den, and morning room have magnificent moldings and beautiful built-ins. Amazing kitchen with custom cabinetry, breakfast bar, and high-end appliances. Sunny Solarium opens to a sensational space complete with heated patios, outdoor kitchen, fireplace, luxurious pool, and lavish landscaping. A media and kids playroom features hardwood floors, a wet bar with beverage, fridge, granite island, lighting, and lounge seating. Stunning decor, architectural detail, and designer colors in every room. And she says, I would like to welcome you to your home. Norman purchased the home for $1.425 million in April of 2020. He is managing principal of Douglas Development Corporation, the company that went on a buying spree in recent years, successfully redeveloped Seneca One and a few other properties, but has been selling or trying to sell multiple others. There are a few comments on this article. Someone wrote, Jamel was good for Buffalo while it lasted, not so much the economy. What we need now are some new developers with new ideas. Buffalo is a small market with minimal population growth, and that's our ongoing problem. And someone else wrote, so their residential home is going now. Won't be long now. I imagine once they finish Elmwood Bidwell, Jamel will likely sell the rest of his Buffalo holdings, including the Statler and Seneca One, and exit the Buffalo market entirely. And someone by the name of Dallas wrote, we can only hope Jamel sells the Statler. He has faked and slowered that building appallingly slow to the detriment of downtown. I'm all for the private sector and capitalism, but there is no way a building this large and this prominent should be allowed by the city to remain undeveloped. And no, running the ballroom while ignoring the rest of the building is not a win. At best, it's a fractional win. John Lane says, other than opening the ballrooms, his predecessor did little with it as well. JG said, yeah, I think the only thing that Jamel actually finished with the Statler was gutting the rest of the building, which I will give him credit, is a huge amount of work. So I guess if someone else wants to take on the project, they're starting from a much better position than either of the two prior attempts. And Dallas says, LOL, I'd be willing to accept incremental steps, but even at incremental steps, it shouldn't take 30 plus years to return the Statler to full occupancy, but I agree. Some progress is better than no progress. And speaking of no progress, I'd be willing to take incremental progress on the light rail and returning AM&As to full occupancy. And Robert says, please keep in mind that the Statler Hotel is a huge 19-story building, which is a massive, costly undertaking for any developer or group of developers. Gutting out that entire building and removing all the asbestos from its was a massive project in itself. That alone takes tons of money and time, and in addition, there was a major facade repair work done on the Statler. So this landmark is in better physical shape now than it was when Douglas Development purchased it. Dallas says bringing in outside developers is not always the best idea, and many times local developers are too small to actually take on high quality projects that benefit the city. Example, they strip everything down to the cheapest, lowest quality and then want both applause and premium rents. That's not the way a city builds high quality residential and commercial properties that will both brand the city and promote investment in the city. The city may need to use incentives to developers with a strong record of performance to the next level. And Robert finally says bringing in developers from big major cities that will take the bull by the horns is the only viable way that Buffalo can eventually escape its small market, mid-sized doldrums, and return back to being a prosperous, proud major city. We also need prominent architects from big major cities involved with the redevelopment of our city. Our local talent doesn't have the creativity, the know-how, or sufficient finances to revitalize Buffalo on its own. Keep in mind that most of Buffalo's famed architectural legacy was created by out-of-town architects and planners. And under business, Dash's calls upon Paula's Donuts to fill hole left by Famous Donuts. Dash's Market announced that it is partnering with Paula's Donuts to fill the hole left behind by Famous Donuts. This transition opened up comment floodgates on social media challenges where donut lovers are sparring with each other about what the best donut in Buffalo actually is. It seems as if there is a bittersweet taste left in some people's mouths who are very sorry and sad to see Famous Donuts go, as they retired after 80 years of business. There is a chance that new owners might take it over, and at the same time, Paula has a tremendous following, which means that Dash's customers will soon, or they actually can now, add the coveted Scratch Donuts to their shopping list. We're excited to announce our partnership with Paula's Donuts, and it started in November. Dash's has Paula's Donuts made from scratch by hand, just the way they always have been. They are delivered fresh and made with love daily, and they're partnering with Dash's, the family-run business. We currently carry Famous, but they are retiring. We're thankful for the long partnership we had with them over the years. You've been listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising. We read from Buffalo Risings we read from Buffalo Risings on Friday at 8:30. Your reader has been Susan, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service with broadcast studios at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. Radio readings are broadcast 24 hours a day, every day, to area people who are blind or have a print disability. This year, our agency marks almost 40 years on the air with more than 300,000 hours of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service website is nfradioreading.org. For more information, call 716-821-5555. Good morning. Welcome to another broadcast day of the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, a private not-for-profit organization. Radio Reading volunteers broadcast daily readings of newspapers, magazines, and books to area blind and handicapped persons who are provided reading radios. As always, stay with us. I'll read them